In the 90s, American television sitcom Step by Step, featuring a Brady Bunch-style blended family, became one of television's most loved sitcoms. The show had a great run, starting on ABC as part of its TGIF Friday night lineup from 1991 to 1997 for 6 of its 7 seasons. It then moved to CBS, where it aired its final season, ending in 1998. Quite a few of the show's stars, though, ended up experiencing a lot of drama in their personal lives during and after the show's run. Step by Step was created and executive produced by William Bickley and Michael Warren, and developed and executive produced by Thomas L. Miller and Robert L. Boyette. It was produced by Bickley Warren Productions, Miller Boyette Productions, and Lorimar Television. The premise focused on single parents Frank Lambert and Carol Foster, played by Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers respectively, getting married and subsequently blending their 2 families together. Frank, a contractor with his own company, and Carol, a beautician and hair salon owner, married while vacationing in Jamaica after a whirlwind courtship, and without the knowledge of either of their families. Frank had 3 children: John Thomas, or JT, Alicia, or Al, and Brendan. Carol also had 3 children: Dana, Karen, and Mark. Both families lived in Port Washington, Wisconsin. They initially planned to keep their marriage a secret, while Frank planned an identical vacation to kind of accidentally run into Carol. Those plans go out the window, though, when he ends up revealing to JT that he and Carol are in fact married during a barbecue the couple hold to introduce all the children, leaving them not only surprised, but very angry. Over time, though, they all grow to love one another. Fun fact, the house shown in establishing shots for scenes set at the Lambert Foster home is actually located at a residence in South Pasadena, California, while the series was filmed at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. JT, played by Brandon Call of Baywatch fame, was the oldest child in the Lambert family. He was a slacker, into sports, and academically challenged due to a learning disability. Al, played by Christine Lacken, was the middle child. She was a tomboy in the beginning, but later softened. In the final season, several episodes centered on her newfound interest in acting. Brendan, played by Josh Byrne, was the youngest child, until Lily was born. He was shy, carefree, and one of the most accepting of his new stepfamily. He appears less and less as the show progresses, though, especially after Lily is introduced in season 4. We'll get into the details as to why a little later. Another member of the Lambert family, Cody, played by Sasha Mitchell of Dallas fame, was Frank's nephew, who lived in the family's driveway in a van. He appeared as a recurring cast member in the first season, then was upgraded to a regular cast member in the second. Dana, played by Stacy Keenan, was the eldest child in the Foster family. She was depicted as a smart, wisecracking feminist, and was often seen being openly hostile to the Lamberts. Karen, played by Angela Watson, was the middle child. The aspiring model was typically portrayed as vain and not very bright. Mark, played by Christopher Castile, was into computers, academics, and had a tendency to be timid. The Fosters and Lamberts also interacted with a variety of other characters, including Carol's sister Penny, played by Patrika Darbo, Carol's mother Ivy, played by Peggy Rhea, JT's best friend and later Dana's boyfriend Rich, played by Jason Marsden, JT's girlfriend Samantha, played by Alexandra Addy, Carol's business partner Jean-Luc, played by Bronson Pinchot, and Lily, originally played by Lauren and Christina Mettering in seasons 4 and 5, and Emily Mae Young in seasons 6 and 7, when her age is advanced to 5 years old. The series' theme song, Second Time Around, was written and composed by Jesse Frederick and Bennett Salve, the same team responsible for the themes for Miller Boyette-produced sitcoms such as Full House, Perfect Strangers, and Family Matters. It was performed by Jesse and Teresa James.
Step by step, day by day, a fresh start over, different hands of play.
Several members of the cast had actually already experienced a taste of fame on various other TV shows before signing on to do Step by Step. The casting of Patrick Duffy fulfilled a contractual obligation that Lorimar made to give him a new show after his previous series, the CBS primetime soap opera Dallas, which was also produced by the company, had ended its run. Suzanne Summers had played Chrissy Snow for 5 seasons on the ABC hit Three's Company. Stacy Keenan and Christopher Castile had previously appeared on the Miller Boyette-produced ABC sitcom Going Places, which debuted the season prior to Step by Step. Stacey also had a starring role on the NBC sitcom My Two Dads. In a similar instance of hiring actors over from other TV series, the producers also cast Josh Byrne after he'd just finished a supporting role on Miller Boyette's single-season CBS sitcom The Family Man. Fun fact, the role of Mark Foster first went to another actor. When the series was casting its characters, child actor Jared Lennon originally landed the role. He'd been chosen by the producers after guest starring in the last original episode of the Miller Boyette series The Hogan Family. However, after shooting the original unaired pilot for Step by Step, Jared was dismissed, and the producers later replaced him with Christopher, after deciding that they wanted Carol's kids to be blonde and Frank's to be brunette. Most of Jared's pilot scenes were reshot with Christopher, but during the first season, footage of Jared remained in the show's opening title sequence. ABC chose to delay Step by Step's sixth season to the 1996-97 mid-season in order to make room on that season's fall schedule for freshman sitcoms Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Clueless, which joined established series Family Matters and Boy Meets World on the TGIF lineup. The network canceled it after 6 seasons in 1997 due to declining ratings. CBS concurrently reached a deal with Miller Boyette Productions to acquire the rights to it and Family Matters from ABC, as that network attempted to build its own Friday night lineup of family-friendly situation comedies for the fall of 1997, called the CBS Block Party. The series' ratings, which had been declining for several seasons, continued to erode, and the show officially ended its run in June 1998. Sadly, it ended without a series finale. Fun fact, while the amusement park seen in the opening credits is depicted as being located along the shores of Lake Michigan in Wisconsin, no amusement park like this actually exists there. The one used is Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. The body of water depicted in the opening and closing credit sequences, located next to the roller coaster, which is digitally inserted into that particular excerpt, is placed over what in actuality is the parking lot of Six Flags. Now let's get into some of the crazy goings-on behind the scenes with the cast of Step by Step. In the show's final season, and without reason, the character of Brendan, played by Josh Byrne, disappeared. While his TV parents still said they had 7 children, he was never on screen again. He, along with Christopher Castile, quit acting, with the former going on to do cosplay at Renaissance fairs, and the latter becoming a high school history teacher and a college professor of political science. Christine Lakin has worked steadily in the industry, doing voice work, regular roles on some short-lived shows, as well as directing. Stacey Keenan wound down her acting career, appearing sporadically in indie films and on TV shows in the 2000s. After that, she entered a different competitive arena. Under her real name, Anastasia Sigorsky, she attended UCLA and then Southwestern University School of Law and became an attorney. Angela Watson needs less than one hand to count the number of roles she landed in the years following the end of the show. Sadly, it wasn't because she didn't want to work or wasn't getting offers. She was caught up in a 2-decade-long abusive relationship with her boyfriend. He's also behind the report that her parents stole all her money she earned through her career as a child actor, $2.5 million to be exact. That story was peddled for many years and even led to Angela starting CAST, Child Actors Supporting Themselves, an organization that assists child actors in managing their own finances. But in 2020, she finally sat down with Christine, her old Step by Step co-star, on her podcast to talk about everything. Angela admitted that she was wrong and her parents didn't steal her money. Her boyfriend was actually the one behind the missing funds. He lied to her and drove her to distance herself from her friends and castmates for 20 years. With help, she broke free of him and began rebuilding those relationships. In the middle of the show's run in 1996, 19-year-old Brandon Cole was involved in what authorities later chalked up to a traffic dispute that almost had a fatal end. According to Brandon, he was driving home from the Burbank studios when a man and a woman in a dark blue Datsun 280Z began to tail him. He tried to evade the car but made a wrong turn into a cul-de-sac. As he spun around to get back onto Venice Boulevard, he was cornered by his pursuers. The driver then stepped out and began firing at him with a pistol, wounding him in both arms. Brandon managed to escape and drive himself to a nearby police station, where officers dressed his wounds and took him to the hospital. He was admitted to UCLA Medical Center and released the following day. According to his IMDb, he hasn't worked since the series ended. Reportedly, the near-death experience made him realize he no longer wanted to be in the spotlight, and he quit acting as soon as Step by Step went off the air. According to rumors, he has been seen working in San Diego at his parents' car wash and gas station. In 1995, Sasha Mitchell was charged with causing extreme physical harm to his wife Jeanette and kicking a hole through the bathroom door. His attorney said his client was framed, but the jury didn't agree. The following year, he was once again arrested for abuse when he threw a chair against a wall, spit on his wife, and hit her with a couch pillow. He was sentenced to 3 years probation and counseling, but was later arrested in Tennessee for violating probation since he'd left LA without completing his mandatory abuse counseling. After police issued a warrant for his arrest, he remained a fugitive for nearly 3 weeks. As a result, Sasha was fired from Step by Step, since when he went to prison the second time, he was no longer allowed to leave for filming like he had been permitted to before, although he did return as a guest for 1 episode in the show's final season. Throughout the show's run, Sasha was in and out of trouble with the law for domestic abuse. Police were called to his house several times to investigate reported incidents against Jeanette. She also had her own inner demons to battle. Jeanette was accused of child abuse in the past, and full custody of the children was granted to Sasha because of her alleged neglect and violence. Sasha was quoted in an interview saying that he was restraining her in a way that was deemed spousal abuse, after she was violent toward him and the children. However, he was later convicted on charges of child endangerment. Patrick Duffy has worked steadily since Step by Step ended, including, and most notably, his roles as Stephen Logan on daytime soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful from 2006 to 2011, and again in 2023, as well as a reprisal of his role as Bobby in a continuation of Dallas from 2012 to 2014. While Suzanne Summers' acting career became sporadic in the years following the end of the show, that didn't mean that she was sitting around doing nothing. In the 2000s, she appeared on the Home Shopping Network monthly, selling household items, clothing, and jewelry that she designed, hosted her own talk show, and did Dancing with the Stars. In April 2000, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She underwent a lumpectomy and radiation, but declined chemotherapy. She later went on to write a book centered on alternative cancer treatments that was widely panned by the American Cancer Society. On October 15, 2023, Suzanne passed away at her home in Palm Springs, California, 1 day before her 77th birthday, and after her breast cancer had returned earlier in the year. In the fall of 1995, Warner Brothers Domestic Television Distribution began distributing Step by Step for broadcast and off-network syndication. The show began streaming on Hulu in 2017 and on HBO Max in 2021. Warner Archive Collection has released the entire series on DVD in North America, available from Warner's online store and Amazon.com.